Today we are going to discuss about the topics position vector and how to represent the angle between two vectors and parallel vectors condition. So here, as we have discussed in the earlier classes, orthogonal vectors and orthogonal unit vectors. What are orthogonal vectors? The vectors whose angle is equal to 90 degrees is equal to, we will call it as orthogonal vectors. And the unit vectors along the x-axis and y-axis are represented as orthogonal unit vectors. So here, along the x-axis, the unit vector is I cap, and along the y-axis, the unit vector is j cap. And if we consider one more axis, z-axis, the unit vector along z-axis is k cap. By using these unit vectors I cap and j cap along the x-axis and y-axis, how can we represent the position vector? Position vector means what? Which will specify the position of a point with respect to some fixed point or reference point. So here, if we consider the origin is our reference point, means 0, 0 is our reference point, and there is a point in the plane x comma y. So here x comma y represents, x is the x-axis coordinate and y is the y-axis coordinate. Then the line joining of the origin to the position of the point will represent the vector. So if we consider this is r bar, the vector can be represented as r bar is equal to, so here we are representing in vector form. Vector means what? It will be having both magnitude and direction. So r bar is equal to x into I cap. Here along the x-axis the magnitude is x and the unit vector to represent the direction is I cap, plus y j cap. Here y is the magnitude along the y-axis and j cap is used to represent the direction along the y-axis. Then how can we find out the magnitude of r bar vector? R bar vector magnitude can be given by root over x square plus y square. So this is the representation of a position vector when it is given in two-dimensional plane, x-axis and y-axis. Suppose if they have given one more dimension, means three-dimensional plane, if they have given z-axis, then the vector can be written as r bar is equal to x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. So the magnitude of r bar can be written as r bar is equal to root over x square plus y square plus z square. So this is the position vector along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and this is the position vector along x-axis and y-axis. Then by making the use of position vector, means the magnitude and the representation of vector, how can we find the unit vector? See, unit vector means what? The vector whose magnitude is equal to 1 is represented as unit vector. So how can we find a unit vector along the given vector? Suppose if I consider a bar is a unit vector, so a bar is equal to 2 I cap plus 3 j cap. Here unit vector can be represented as a bar is equal to modulus of a, means magnitude of a, and a cap multiplied by a cap. So here a cap is the unit vector. If you want to write a cap alone, a cap is equal to a bar by modulus of a. So here a bar vector directly they have given 2 I cap plus 3 j cap. So 2 I cap plus 3 j cap divided by modulus of a means, here what we have considered, modulus of r means root over x square plus y square, means x component square plus y component square. So here x component is how much? 2, y component is how much? 3. So root over 2 square plus 3 square, that is equal to 2 I cap plus 3 j cap divided by root over 2 square is 4 and 3 square is 9. Then the unit vector along a bar can be written as a cap is equal to 2 I cap plus 3j cap divided by root over 13. So this is the representation of unit vector. Suppose if they have given any vector, a bar is equal to modulus of a into a cap. From this we are writing a cap as a cap is equal to a bar by modulus of a. See, this is the representation of unit vector. The representation of unit vector along a bar. A bar is equal to 2i plus 3j cap they have given. For that we are finding the unit vector a cap. A cap is equal to 2i plus 3j by root over 13. See, here by making use of modulus of r root over x square plus y square, by making use of modulus of r whenever it has given in a three-dimensional plane root over x square plus y square plus z square, we are finding the unit vector along the given vector. Draw x-axis and y-axis. This is origin O. This is positive x-axis. This is positive y-axis. Negative x-axis x dash and negative y-axis y dash. So here on the RHS side of origin, if you consider there are positive values 1, 2, 3 and so on, the positive values, and this is vertical line, right? Y-axis is the vertical line. So positive y-axis means 1, 2, 3. Then horizontal x-axis, LHS side of 0, it will be -1, -2, -3, -4, and below the x-axis -1, -2, -3, -4. So here we can observe in this particular quadrant there are positive x component and positive y component, and if it comes to the second, negative x component and positive y component. See, I am writing this one as suppose there is a point x comma y. There is a point x comma y, and here if it is a point, it will be of minus x comma y. Then the same way, if it comes to the third quadrant, there is a point, this can be written as minus x comma minus y. And if it is in the fourth quadrant, x comma minus y. See here, positive x value, negative y value. That is what x comma minus y we are writing. Then how can we represent this point in vector form? See, here x component is there, and along the x-axis the unit vector is what? I cap. Y component is there, along the y-axis the unit vector is j cap. So this resultant vector can be written as x I cap plus y j cap. So this will be the resultant vector. Suppose if we consider this is the point and we are writing the resultant vector, this will becomes minus x I cap plus y j cap. And in the third quadrant, if we are writing the position vector, then this will be r bar is equal to, both are negative values, minus x I cap minus y j cap. This is r bar is equal to. Then here fourth quadrant, if you consider the point, then this r bar can be written as x I cap minus y j cap. See, here whenever we consider different quadrants, how the vector will behave. So here both are positive values, then here x I cap plus y j cap. Here one positive, one negative. So minus x I cap plus y j cap. And in the third quadrant both are negative values. So minus x I cap minus y j cap. And here the resultant vector can be written as r bar is equal to xi minus yj. See, representation of angle between vectors. So here, if if you have compass, can we measure the angle between any two vectors directly? Yes or no? Here, if there is a vector a bar, this is a bar, and another vector b bar. If you have compass, then can we measure this angle directly? Yes, we can measure. But here, the angle between these two, a bar and b bar, will not represent this one. See here, to represent the angle between any two vectors, there is a condition that the tail should coincide. The two vectors' tails should coincide. See here, while we have discussed the representation of vector, I have told you that the initial point can be called as tail and the terminal point can be called as head. Head of the vector and tail of the vector. So here, if you want to measure the angle between any two vectors, both the vectors' tails should coincide with each other. Should coincide with each other means here a bar vector and b bar vector both are there. But here the initial point of b bar vector is coincide with the terminal point of a bar vector. Then how can we measure the angle between these two vectors? So, by making use of free vectors. What are free vectors? Without changing the magnitude and direction, we can displace a vector from one place to another place. Or the position of the vector can be displaced without changing the magnitude and direction is known as free vectors. That is what we have discussed about free vectors. So, these free vectors are very helpful in measurement of vectors. See, here without changing the magnitude and direction, what we are doing, we are displacing this a bar vector from here to here. If you are displacing, what is happening? The two tails are coincide with each other. So, this is a bar. Then, suppose if here this is the angle is 60 degrees. By making use of free vectors, we can shift the vector from one place to another place. Then we can see that the two vectors tails coincide with each other, and here we can find the angle between the two vectors. Okay. Then if you want to measure the angle between a bar and 2b bar. There is a vector a bar and there is a vector b bar. This is a bar and this is b bar. And here this angle they have given is 120 degrees. There are two vectors a bar and b bar, and here it is making an angle is 120 degrees. Then, what is the actual angle between a bar and b bar? If you displace this a bar vector like this side, means without changing the magnitude and direction, if you displace a bar vector here the two tails are coinciding with each other. Then here it is making some angle. This angle is the angle between a bar and b bar. So, if you observe this one, this is a total straight angle. Straight angle is equal to 180 degrees. In that, this is 120. Then what about this one? 180 minus 120, 60 degrees. So, here the angle between a bar and b bar is 60 degrees. That is very clear. Then, what they are asking? The angle between a bar and 2b bar they are asking. Angle between a bar and 2b bar. Suppose, if you observe this one, there is no change in the magnitude of a bar. If you observe this b bar, there is a change in the magnitude. Then what about direction? Direction is changing? No, right? So, what we will do is, we will change the magnitude alone. If you multiply the b bar vector, suppose if it is 1 centimeter, if you add 1 more centimeter, then what will happen? It will becomes 2 centimeters, means 2b bar. Okay, if you multiply a vector, it doesn't change its direction. See, if it is a positive number, it doesn't change its direction. Suppose if it is a negative number, it changes its direction. Suppose if we consider east direction is positive, then west direction will be what? Minus negative of east only. No, the negative of east means opposite of east is what? West alone. So here minus e we will represent, or west direction we will represent. The same way here, if you are multiplying with 2, there is no change in the direction. Suppose if you are multiplying with minus 2, the b bar vector changes its direction towards opposite. Okay, so for that one also we will check how to measure the angle between a bar and the angle between a bar and minus b bar. See here, consider this one is b bar alone, a bar vector and b bar vector. The angle they have given is equal to 60 degrees. Then what they are asking? They are asking the angle between a bar and minus b bar. Minus b bar means what? This is b bar. Minus b bar means the opposite of b. If you change the direction without changing the magnitude, this will becomes minus b bar. So here again we should check whether the tails are coincide with each other or not. If they are coinciding with each other, if it is 60 degrees, then what is the angle here? 120 degrees. The angle between a bar and minus b bar is equal to 120 degrees. Okay, so negative b bar means this direction. Suppose if we consider angle between b bar and negative of a bar, negative means opposite, means without changing the magnitude we will reverse the direction, means we will reverse the direction. Suppose if it is moving towards north direction, means we will change the direction towards the south without changing the magnitude. Suppose this is 5 centimeters, 5 centimeters we will draw, but what we will do? We will change the arrow mark direction. See, minus a bar, here I have changed the direction alone, means initially this is moving towards upward direction, but finally it is coming towards downward direction. So this will represent minus a bar. Now again, a bar, minus a bar and b bar both are coinciding with each other, right? The tails are coinciding with each other, and here the angle, this one is 60 degrees, and this angle will becomes how much? If it is a straight angle 180 degrees, then one angle is 60, then another angle is equal to 120 degrees. Okay, this is the way to measure the angle between any two vectors. So here, what is the condition for measuring the angle between two vectors is their tails should coincide with each other, or their heads should coincide with each other. Then only we can be able to find the angle between two vectors. And if they are asking to find the angle between one vector to another negative vector, means just reverse the direction without changing the magnitude. Then we can find it very easily. Ultimately the condition is their tails should coincide with each other. Okay, then condition for parallel vectors. What is the condition for parallel vectors? If a bar vector ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap, and b bar vector bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap. These are the two vectors a bar and b bar are parallel. Then the condition is ax by bx is equal to ay by by equal to az by bz, that is equal to constant k. where we will use this parallel vectors condition is, suppose whenever they are giving two vectors a bar and b bar, and if there is any missing value, suppose ay value if they are not giving, in that case by using the parallel vectors condition we can find out ay magnitude very easily. See, so for example, if you consider vector a bar is given by 2i cap plus 2j cap plus 4k cap, and b bar vector they have given as k I cap, or consider this one as p I cap plus 2j cap plus 4k cap. Then if these two vectors are parallel, a bar and b bar are parallel, find p. Then find p value. So here p is the unknown value. If these two vectors are parallel, by making use of this condition ax by bx, ay by by, az by bz is equal to constant, we can find out the p value or not. See here, this is ax, ay, az, bx, by, bz. So here ax value is 2 divided by, and bx value is how much? P. 2 by p is equal to ay value is 2, by value is 2, that is equal to az value is what? 4, bz value is 4, that is equal to constant. What is the constant? See, consider any one condition, 2 by 2, 2 ones are 2 ones are, 4 by 4, 2 4 ones are 4 ones are. Then here what we can consider, 4 by 4 is equal to constant, that is equal to 4 ones are 1. So k is equal to 1. If we equate k is equal to 1 to 2 by p, what we will get? 2 by p is equal to k, that represents 2 by p is equal to 1. Then p is equal to 2. So the value of p is equal to how much? 2. What are parallel vectors? The vectors which are having same direction but magnitude may be different. Those vectors we will call as parallel vectors. Okay, this is the condition for checking whether the given vectors are parallel vectors or not. Ax by bx is equal to ay by by is equal to az by bz, that is equal to constant. Here ax, bx, ay, by, az, bz are the magnitudes along x axis, y axis and z axis, are the components of x, y and z axes. So this is the way to find out whether the given vectors are parallel vectors or not.